Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Colombo and we are on northern waters. And I've been playing the Colombo a bit lately. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry at the same time. I don't play the Colombo a lot, but when I do, I have great games. That's just how it works. I'm not saying the Colombo is completely busted and probably should have been nerfed by now. All I'm saying is it's currently the most ridiculously easy battleship at the tier to play. And that includes the Yamato, which we all know I have an affinity for being the strongest battleship at the tier because of the incredible overmatching and ridiculous consistency that I tend to get and how easy it is to put up 200k games in Yamato. Colombo does all of that without the overmatch. Don't believe me? Hang out and see what we can do. We're going to have some fun. But we're going to push off to the right side. We're actually going to end up on a side of the map where everybody ends up flowing to. And this is not just us, but also the enemy team. Which is going to lead to a pretty crazy engagement where literally both teams just kind of smash their heads against one another. And guess who's going to be leading the charge? That's right, this person. So here we have a Yamato full broadside begging for it, and I get the shot out. It looks absolutely juicy. Most of the RNG is horizontal. Unfortunately, he does turn in just a little bit and gets underneath it. And I say he, it's probably not he, considering his name is Creepy Sis. We'll go with she. But Yamato doesn't try to change what they're doing. Instead, they opt for the full salvo once again, and then they start to move forward a little bit faster. And we're doing the exact same thing over here. I'm like, I'll take a hit from a Yamato. I don't care. I'm not Colombo. What are the odds that this man hits me, or this person hits me hard enough for it to really hurt the Colombo? Like, at the greater scheme of things. A Colombo is busted for so many reasons, but one of which is it's incredibly tanky. Incredibly tanky. Unless you go full broadside and take a huge hit, you're probably not going to take massive amounts of damage every time you turn around. Yamato can overmatch, obviously, and we've showcased a battle in the Yamato video. If you guys haven't seen that, highly recommend it. It was my second best game ever in Yamato, and yeah, highly recommend. Now here, we're coming around a corner into the cap. Now there obviously is a destroyer here. There's obviously a Mino here in the cap, right? So what we want to do is stop them from being able to cap, and then, of course, our Stalingrad, being the absolute Giga Chad that he is, radars. And unfortunately, he's not in range to radar the destroyer. That puts my mind at ease, because if he's not in range to radar the destroyer is probably not in range to slap me with torpedoes. Probably. But we're hoping the Yamato comes around the corner here. Fun fact, it does not. However, Conqueror just does not recognize when bad things are about to happen to it. And we actually get the rare Citadel on the Conqueror. Now, do you know why I was able to Citadel? Oh, by the way, hi, Lightfoot. Long-time watcher of the channel. Welcome to World of Warships Legends. You finally made it into a video. Not the way you want. But anyway, Lightfoot is in trouble here, and they've got to know it by now. As if taking the Citadel wasn't enough. But watch, I'm not going to Citadel him this time. Why is that? Why did I Citadel him the previous time, but not this time? Well, it's really simple. The Conqueror has an underwater Citadel, okay? So in order for me to land Citadel hits, one of two things must happen. Either they turn towards me, raising that Citadel out of the water, or I shoot from far enough away that the shells are coming at an angle and they're able to drop down into the Citadel. Okay? That being said, this poor Conqueror never had a chance. Lightfoot, I apologize, but not really. You gotta be more careful, my bro. But don't worry. There's plenty more where that come from. Now, I'm not an idiot, despite what a lot of people seem to think. Alright? I am not an idiot, and this is where a lot of people get things wrong when they watch me play, because they see me play like an idiot a lot, but that's because I'm playing for content, right? I play to try to make interesting things happen, and this is a perfect example. I'm going to use the island. Now, Yama gets a good shot through the bow, but it's relatively inconsequential. Oh look, torpedo! Who could have seen that coming? It's almost like there's a Mino around the corner, and if I'd have came around that corner, I'd have ate all those torps. Shocker! Who'd have seen that coming? But what I also did was use the beach to stop me. And that allowed the Yama to shoot through my bow, but not anything deeper than that. If he would have shot further back, he would have hit the island. So here, we're just going to bully the Alaska's superstructure for a little bit. Trying to bait these guys into coming around the corner, right? There's 2 Yamatos here and an Alaska, plus the Mino, plus a couple of destroyers hanging around. I don't want to just barrel around the corner into that. One of my teammates is pushing forward, but he's doing so much further out, which means he is going to bear the brunt of the absolute punishment. However, this Yamato, creepy sis, I apologize, but you've got to pay more attention. You got to pay more attention. That was the Yamato that we started out with at the beginning of the match. That was broadside, and we slapped, and then we slapped again, and then finally we slapped for a 3rd time, and 3rd time's the charm. Now this Yamato gets himself flanked. Our Stalingrad and then our other cruiser has pushed to the inside, catching the Yamato off guard. You saw the amount of damage Stalingrad did to that Yamato. They're in trouble. Now at this point, I realize that he's dead, so I don't need to shoot at the Yamato. And I instead elect to use my smoke, try to start to turn the corner because I want to potentially shoot at the Mino here. I knew the Mino was here. So we get 1 gun out at the Mino. Is it going to be enough? It's accurate as crap, and bonk. Shocker. What did I say about this thing again? Oh yeah, it's busted. This ship is busted, man. It is too accurate for the amount of firepower that it has. And these 15-inch guns make no sense whatsoever. They have some of the dumbest penetration angles that I've ever seen out of a battleship. They have decent reload because 15-inch guns, even though they're quad barrels, like they still have a ridiculous reload. Florida right now is crying. It's like, dude, where's my good reload? I'm at tier 6, I get 4 barrels, and I get the worst reload on the planet. Yeah, exactly. So why is it that Colombo gets everything? It gets get-out-of-jail-free smoke screens that allow you to set up ridiculous ambush. It has ridiculous tankiness, gets ridiculous amount of heals, even while running an accuracy build. Put that into perspective. We get 5 heals on this thing while running an accuracy build on the Colombo. Just saying, kind of busted. So I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me because people always love to get mad. Folks in the chat, I want to let you in on a little secret. Wargaming, they don't give a what? Any CC, anybody out there making content, anybody that posts the thing in the feedback, they don't care what any of us say about a ship's balance, alright? As proven with the carriers. They will do what they want, regardless. And at the end of the day, if your favorite ship pops up in a video that says, this ship is busted, it needs nerfed, and then suddenly it gets nerfed, it's not because of that video, I promise you. So I promise you it's not by videos like me going out here and putting up, you know, a mediocre game or a slightly above average game in the Colombo saying how busted it is, or the fact that I can go out here and put out 200k in my sleep in a Colombo in most matches is pretty crazy, right? But I think we can all objectively sit on the outside. If you've played the Colombo, if you haven't played the Colombo, or you're on your way to getting the Colombo and then it gets nerfed, I understand why you're upset, but at the end of the day, I mean, you've had quite a while to get this ship unlocked, and I know if you're free to play, it takes a long time to unlock ships through the Bureau because the Bureau is absolute dog crap. I don't think there's anybody in the game that actually enjoys the Bureau except for Wargaming. Why does Wargaming enjoy the Bureau? Because it generates money. Shocker. It's almost like this free-to-play game tries to monetize everything that they can across the board, no matter what. By the way, did you guys see that the Big E is coming out? Who thinks that it's what is the word I'm looking for? A coincidence that Big E Enterprise comes at a time that is on the backside of carriers being the most busted they have ever been in World of Warships Legends? When was the last time they released a premium carrier, guys? Anybody? Name Ark Royal come to mind? I could be wrong. There could have been another one between the Ark Royal and this one. But Ark Royal was one of the last ones that I saw of a premium carrier being introduced in the game. Do you remember how freaking busted the Ark Royal was when it first came into the game? Yeah. So do you think that it's a coincidence that Wargaming brings in this ship right on the backside of the most ridiculous aircraft carrier update of all time. Just saying, not saying. All right, we all understand how businesses work, right? We know that they got to make money. And we know that they'll do what they got to do to make money at any given moment. Because if they don't, they ain't going to be working there very long. That's how this works. Like, if you're not trying to make money as a business, you're not going to stick around very long. And wargaming is very good at making money, especially with free-to-play games. I mean, just to name a few, World of Tanks, World of Warships, World of Warships Legends, World of Tanks Console. You starting to see where we're going with this? They're very, very good at making money. And so they've got a formula that they follow. And one of the formulas that they follow is they release spicy premiums and premium items. Why? Because they know people will buy them. And I'm a perfect example of this. I buy them myself. So, are we ever going to get away from it? No. But, one of the things that you got to realize is that no matter what we say as a video or whatever, it's not going to change the outcome, okay? Wargaming has the ultimate say in the fact they are the ones that are going to be the ones to do all the things. So, keep that in mind. Don't get mad at us content creators when we make videos that get clicks, alright? We got to do the same thing Wargaming got to do, right? You see the video, like, day one, I mean, how many times you see a day one CC go, world record in brand new premium ship that nobody owns yet? Like, really? Yes, you got the world record. Congrats. Next day it's gone. But for your clicks, you get the thing. But I get it. It sells. It clicks. People click on it. It says world record, a big bold print. Or this ship is busted, day one. Or this ship is terrible, day one. All of these are headlines. Why are they headlines? Because people will click on them. That's why it works. That's also why you end up with certain creators going out of their way to be overly negative. Because it sells. Just like the news. You never noticed that the news, always negative. Why? Because people click on negative more than positive. People would much rather click on a thing that says, entire village was wiped out by the flu. Rather than, entire village celebrates the birth of a new puppy. Like, I know they're very vastly different things, but it's still, you get what I'm saying. Like, there are certain phrases, there are certain things that generate clicks. Some can call it clickbait. Is it really clickbait if it's factual? There's a gray area here. But at the end of the day, like, there are certain things that we have to pick up on as creators or as a business. We're both, if you're a creator and a business, then you've got to do both the things. And so I just want to point that out for those of you who don't know. Now, we've put up everything we've had to do in this one. 4 kills, 188,000 damage, just the casual, run straight in, smash everything in the face, sail through the caps to make sure that we win the game. And I don't know if you guys noticed, we've been chatting the whole time with our team. Or at least ever since we finished off the Alaska and rounded the corner towards Delta, because that's when I got into chat and I started saying things like, hey, battleships, let's split up. And we did. One of our battleships that was talking in chat split off, and they went through the middle. That sets up a crossfire, allows us to get the captures, and also allows us to have a forward spotting position in case somebody shows themselves, like the enemy did there at the end. But he does the right thing of making sure he beaches himself on the island to avoid the initial attack of the torpedoes that he knew was coming. And then I decide to go around the other side of the island, thinking, okay, well, he's probably going to try to sneak up on, you know, the middle of the battleships here. But no, the destroyer doesn't. He actually, you know, spoiler alert, goes out to finish off the Schlieffen. One of the downsides of putting yourself in a beached position against a destroyer is that, I mean, you're essentially guaranteeing that the second set of torpedoes, as long as they have brain cells, isn't going to miss. And, yeah, there you go. So, well done to my team. I can't complain about my teams. In this night that I was recording, I had so many great games, so many great team games. Like, it was amazing. It's one of those things that just, when everything comes together and you get those teammates, like, I try to, like, point it out when I can, because they're just like the Giga Chad and the Stalingrad. Stalingrad, radars early to try to help find the destroyer who's clearly in a smokescreen, but just didn't have quite enough range. Fair enough, happens. Then he cuts through the middle to get the crossfire on the broadside of the Yamato and takes half the man's hit points because he puts himself in a position where he can be useful. And again, this is something that is just very overlooked by a lot of people in the moment. Like, looking for those little avenues of approach, using the islands to get to a position to close. Just like us, we went in, we went head-to-head, just put this in perspective, we went head-to-head with an Alaska, Conqueror, 2 Yamatos, and a Mino. And we took almost no damage. Positioning, folks. Learn to use it, learn to abuse it. 188,000 damage, top of the leaderboard, 3,286 base XP with 4 kills. Burgon coming in second, and our buddy in the Schlieffen and Stalingrad, big shout-outs to you guys. Also, shout-out to Lightfoot one last time. Much love, and if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.